figured some stuff out. They played the long con game. They stuck together, relatively speaking, but with a nice kind of two-pronged attack on that map, and it ended up working out for them.
One thing I noticed, too, is that was the second round they won. It's also, both rounds they've won, they've taken out Mozzie right away.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And no sledge.
Yeah,
as much as I hate to say it. It's not working, so I'll teach you guys how to do it later. It's okay.
The truth is hard to hear sometimes.
It's very easy. Who need gun when hammer do trick?
Yeah, I think it can also be partially attributed to that they're starting to understand how their rotation works, and I've seen the alibi plays pretty much in the same spot every time. They're starting to fall into that cycle and understand their opponent a little bit more, and attack them a little bit better in that. Understand that they're going to rotate this way, so we're going to have like you were saying, the two-pronged attack, the ability to pick them off kind of one by one, kind of whittle their team down a little bit so that they can attack better as a full team.
Yeah, I do like it. It's difficult, though, right? Because you can't blame the alibi for playing that way. There's default placements for utility for a reason. They're the most effective way to use that character on that particular map. Mm-hmm. Yes, the mechanics for the gunplay are there. Again, as we mentioned, picking the operator and using their abilities to the maximum capable usage for them is also a factor. But now it's becoming more of this chess match. Of, okay, you have this piece in play, you're going to most likely do this. But if I play this piece on my team, I can counter this move. And then at that point, you are getting countered. Do you stick with the same thing and try to win out? No, you try to do something a little bit more innovative. We often see this within, like, more confined tournaments and kind of competitions where during the course of a weekend, all these teams will be throwing so many things out of their hats just to try and get themselves an edge. In these kind of longer series, like the Gridiron Rival series, it's difficult to pinpoint things that will happen continuously. So it has to be done within the rounds themselves. And I think Boise State's really showing that they're not only willing, but very capable of making those adaptations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I have a sticker somewhere that says something about the Boise State program where I believe it mentions over adapt or some baloney like that. Doesn't make any sense. Just kidding. It's literally the best.
If it works, it works.
Yeah. If it gets you the W, why not do it? I don't know if my mind is playing tricks on me, but I could have sworn I just smelled panda. So
yeah, I 100% smell.
I have to laser beam
Gotta
focus.
dial in a little bit.
Gotta dial it in.
I guess as we're able to see what's going on, are there any things that you think that Boise State could do to improve their chances, or I guess to counter a little bit more? I know we talked about moves and counter moves. It kind of feels like counter moves with all the pick sixes coming in,
right?
And that try to get that intel gain. What do you think going into these next couple rounds could benefit Boise State, as we've seen them already try to catch up with the amount of rounds that we have left?
Not a lot of time to mess around in the bank, really, but I think that at this point, this isn't like the most momentum-based game by comparison to like Rocket League or Valorant, where it's like strictly momentum-based. You can lose mental momentum very quickly. At this point, though, I think that Boise State has the unique opportunity to say, okay, we're able to figure out some of the things that they're going to continue to do. Let's let them do that and do something completely different. I mean, they've opted for this team comp to really whittle down the success of these flankers or these roamers. Maybe throw out their own set of roamers or flanks for their own opportunity for success. Really catch Central Michigan off guard, play their own game but a little bit better. Mm-hmm. Or just do what's working, whatever.
Or the sledge play,
Right.
It could go either way, really.
Completely never pick the same characters twice in a row. You have to have a different operator in between your picks.
Listen, if you don't
if there's
know
a
what you're
random
doing,
button,
they won't either, so.
Exactly. Just let it randomize. Just let it do its
also,
own thing.
never enter the building. Just sit outside, see what happens. You know, that is an interesting thing when it comes to playing on defense. I don't know about you guys because you're probably smarter than me. But I do this thing on defense. I'm like, oh, nothing's happening. Let me go make something happen outside. And then I lose position. I've created a huge amount of pressure for the attacking team to go through where I was defending because I was impatient. It's very well possible that could be another opportunity for Boise State to capitalize on.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely guilty of that as well.
It's just boring. Let's be honest.
You're just sitting there, and it's like they're not here, or they could be in, and we just don't know yet.
That's the worst part.
Like,
is that they're not here. I think.
Yeah, I noticed that Central Michigan kept opening up those walls. They kept opening up the barricades just a little bit, so they could see, you know, if there was going to be any push from there. That rotation that they have really down pat. It seems like. I guess going into Boise State's defending rounds, do you think that we'll see something sort of similar, or?
It's possible. But we're going to wait and see. We're going to throw it to a quick break. We'll be right back. Make sure to go get some water. I'm going to go do the same. Stay tuned.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back to the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena for tonight's wrap-up of the Gridiron Rivals League for 2021. We've seen so far a lot of this Rainbow Six Siege action between Boise State and Central Michigan. Central Michigan, they know how to play, so they've come to play as well, and Boise State is trying their best to try and figure out those comps and those strats. I'm going to be your host, Jared Castiglione, joined by Cosmic and Vagar. We are doing having an amazing time here on the desk with this three-man setup. So thank you for production for getting this all equipped with all the super cool tech. It goes well over my head, but that's why I'm here just yelling at the screen. Speaking of tech, it comes down to these two teams. On the technical side, if you were to give them a grade, which would you say has the better one?
That would be a tough one. I feel like both teams are fairly even.
You're the professor. You got to give the grade. Where are we putting them on the report card?
Out of 10?
What?
Out of 10?
A grid.
A grade. Okay.
A grade. You know, like A, B, C, or D. Wait, well, hold on. You guys go to school, right?
You'd think. Probably want to say with Michigan or Central Michigan that they would probably get an A, and then I think Boise State's just right behind him. We're talking like a B+. It's just the little things here and there.
Right.
Because, yeah, all these rounds have been just spot on, like neck and neck.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's kind of it's relatively even as we go into this this next pick phase. We're seeing a bit of the same thing. We have the Nomad still, we have the Ayana, the Mozzie. I would say Central Michigan has got it down pat. They've got those rotations. They've got those holes in the walls, those little things that they need. I would say, yeah, it definitely comes down to just a couple of percentage points. We're talking like A and A- or something like that.
So right now, Central Michigan's done like one extra credit assignment. Boise State's like, we're fine with just coasting on the curriculum.
Exactly.
Well, for them to kind of pick this apart, I think they need to put in those extra time, extra man hours, if you will. Because again, it looks like we are going to replay this round. Did hear from production that Central Michigan, one of their players suffered some bug, which costed them that, giving Boise State the 2 points. So we're going to see whether or not Boise State can make a repeat, see if lightning strikes twice in this.
See that door opening up again on the Tachanka. I noticed there was a strat there where Jaeger put down two of his two of those devices right next to each other. Is there a specific reason for that?
I think we've seen a lot of grenades on the side of BSU, and that spot is such a key hold for that site that they're just putting some extra insurance there in case they try and just burn one ADS device out. It's interesting to see the mute as well, because they've been swapping between mute and Mozzie just back and forth.
Yeah, I feel like they're trying to maybe get a feel of which one's working better. We've seen Mozzie a couple times, seen mute a couple times, and they're able to compare the utility of those two people.
Oh, here comes the peak. 12 gauge finds one, shots across the board. No one will land any damage just yet. But information's gathered either way. I know that Boise State's still on the outside of the building, maybe not considering that as an entrance point moving forward. Is this a point for Central Michigan to send reinforcements to that room, though?
Tachanka's just using an absolute pixel right there. Like nothing more. It's all he needs.
Oh, well, that won't help. Tachanka can't see. Tachanka blind. He's got like a PhD in English or something that I'm just completely discrediting just because of the name Tachanka. Still not making a decision yet, and they've used a fair amount of their time bank to do so, but shots coming from Tex will find their mark onto Milk. Milk's expired, going to be for this round. Nice utility moving forward. Okay. No idea what this character does, to be honest. That was the coolest looking thing ever. Horn holding this. Oh, come on. That's not the right ability to use. You have a whole hammer. Understand the mentality behind it. They don't want to reveal themselves too forward. 1 minute left, and now Boise State continues to collapse. 12 gauge will be taken out, but we'll take one down, and it's a trade for kills. It's going to be 3 versus 4. What's the move from here on forward?
I think if BSU can get rid of that deployable shield, that would be huge.
Costa popping out, will be shot in tandem, losing almost half their health bar. In almost a quick 1-2 fashion. 50 seconds on the clock. Boise State pushing a little bit too far forward as Legends will find one, even it up 3-3. The other corner will be watched. Going up the staircase is a deadly endeavor, and it's going to be huge for this side of Central Michigan. Just Brennebear versus the world. Knew that they were there, but Pasta with the perfect angle gets the two-piece. Yeah. And Central Michigan will go up yet another point in this map.
Yeah, Brenner couldn't quite get it there. He knew that where he was, but he just was slightly slower on the draw.
It's a real hard angle.
Yeah, they're really using those deployable shields to their, at least that one particularly, that being such a good foothold for the rest of the map, just getting in there, and that's the reason they're defending it so well. But they're really utilizing, I feel like sometimes deployable shields can be for cover. Sometimes they're, if you're frost trapping, they can be just like a little barrier for someone to jump over. And but they're really utilizing those and getting those line of sight. They're not directly in the door, so they still have a pixel or two on either side that they can shoot through if they need to, like the Tachanka was doing. It's very interesting.
How do you two feel about the classy chap Warden on the side of the defense for Boise State?
Interesting for sure.
Yeah, it seems
I love when I hear that. It's interesting. That's caster talk for other things. That was an interesting play. I'm not sure I quite understand what just happened.
It's like, if they have a specific strategy for Warden in mind, it can't.
Well, how would he fit into the comp then? I guess is a better question.
I feel like you can play him one of two ways, and you can have him just be a hard anchor, and just if they're expecting a Ying or a Blitz or something like that, he's just gonna sit there and he doesn't care. Or he kind of takes the risky angle, and then also same with like a Ying or a Blitz,
right,
or something like that. It's like they can't really flush him out of there because he's got his really cool shades on.
He's got the shades. And he wears them inside, too. Not seeing anything too crazy for the attacking side for Central Michigan. 5-1 so far on the map. And again, 1st to 7. You got to win by 2, but if they get these next 2 rounds, that'll be easily done. See if they want to attack as a more congealed unit or if they want to go that spread approach. Boise State has some in the way of roaming, not too terribly much. They will find a bomb site, and they are going to hard breach immediately in. Drones going rampant. Someone should just be able to send, there should be a character who can just send like a swarm of drones.
Yeah, I find it interesting that they're not focusing, Boise State is not focusing too much on their ability to defend those hard breach areas. Obviously, we have the ace coming through, which is definitely going to be able to open up those doorways, but we're not seeing any bandits. We're not seeing Cade or Kaid, however you want to pronounce it. I think they're just relying on how they know the map and how they can rotate as a team.
Corn feeling comfortable to have one of these players pinned, but a pin from presenting themselves forward. Flash will come out, find himself on the other side of the hole, given over through to the staircase, watching this angle. No one's going to be found just yet, but 12 gauge will find one, and Corn will be the first one to fall. Retrospect here. Hopefully using some barbed wire to some great effect, but Boise State sends scurrying, and you need to still continue to hold these angles. Ooh.
Good drone out.
Good
Getting
nitro cell there.
That intel
Legends
game.
will be shot. Half their HP are gone in an instant. It's a 4 versus 4. Doesn't wait to heal just yet. Maybe trying to cook this a little bit. No, not yet. Pushing forward. Utility used on the site, but Boise State privy to that. Going to keep themselves a far distance from the entrance to the hallway. Saw the toes of one member there. Legends continuing to try and find any sort of information, and Boise State doing a really good job despite losing a man early in this round, keeping the timer ticking down.
Yeah, I mean,
oh my goodness, Tex with the shots on point. That's a double kill for them. 3 more will give them the 3-piece. Brandenburg will be a sacrificial lamb there. Information gathered, though. When it comes down to the way Boise State plays these rounds, yes, you may fall, but you are given max amount of info over to your teammates, and it's up to whether or not they make something out of it. Shots across the courtyard. Action springing. Shots across the way. Boise State will pick up another one. It's going to be a down and an instant elimination. Sledge coming through. It's the Kool-Aid man, but with half HP. Can't be busting through any walls just yet. Oh my goodness, 12 Gauge and Legends both finding an angle and finding a target of their own. Instantly going for the defuse. It's a 1 versus 2. The prone drop shot could be huge, but it only gets half the HP away from 12 Gauge. And now he needs to go for the recontest. Neon, can you do it? It's a 1 versus 2. They know exactly where you are. Pushing forward. Both members. Tiptoe, and stealth is the name of the game. There's plenty of times to work with, but he has to land these shots. He's going to be collapsed on. He gets the 1v1. Can he actually clutch this one up? He has no idea where this sledge is at. And the stealth sledge is the deadliest. I don't know if he doesn't know how much damage Legends has taken so far. He's going to go for the big brain play. Goes for the... Found the active diffuser. He's going to go for it. Legends can't challenge, but time's not of the essence. He's trying to bait him out. He gets the knock and it's down, but it does not matter. Not enough time.
Incredible.
So much pressure afforded, and we mentioned how callouts are immensely important. In that kind of situation, it just seemed like there was no way for Legends to know, or sorry, for BSU to know how much damage Legend had sustained. If there was a call out on that, like he's low, he's 1, you know, anything like that, you play that entire last minute a completely different way. Oh, the dock.
Interesting, the dock pick.
I was wondering whether or not we would see healing sometime soon, and it looks like it's now, at this point in time, do or die for Boise State for this map.
I believe Thunderbird also heals.
True.
Yeah. So.
I always forget. I always forget that I also have to caw when she's played. Caw! Thunderbird!
It was cool to see that Warden swinging around corners and kind of anticipating that the opponent was going to either push or start peeking again, was able to pre-fire as he rounded those corners and get some good damage on the enemies that he was facing.
Twitch chat, Boise State needs your energy to get themselves back into this map. We need as many Stabobos as possible. I know you have them. It's the best series of emotes I've ever seen. Production, that's cheating, but thank you. I appreciate it's the thought that counts, really. Ooh, he's got the little veranda covered by the drone and finds the lip on the side of the roof. Pasta, just noodling around.
It turned into drone parkour before our eyes, really.
That should be a miniature game mode.
Drone racing or something.
You get a drone skin for completing the obstacle course. Did they set down their utility just yet? I don't think so. It is interesting to see when Thunderbirds played where they put down that healing station, if you will. Yeah. Because, you know, that incentivizes your whole team to just group around it the whole round.
Yeah, I think you want to have it in those zones where there's going to be high damage going through, but also, you know, sometimes they can be put in like little hidey holes if you need to retreat and get the advantage when your opponent thinks that you're low health. The Thunderbird and the dock I think is interesting because, you know, they're basically, you know, they have the same utility.
Oh my goodness!
Got the first two. Oh, the first two.
Oh wow!
Just like that, Thunderbird and Tech spawn finding the call. Now that is a aggressive move, if you could call it that, because they were just as close to the outside as the whole entire side from Central Michigan. So. Pays off huge, but Gore-Tech is the one still alive, and that's been, if we had the ability to check the kill spread, probably the top frag on the side of Central Mich.
A bomb has been located.
Found the site. Barbed wire soon to come down for protection. No shots given over just yet, though.
I find it interesting. I've seen a couple rounds in which the defenders haven't used all of their reinforced walls. Do you think that there is a reason for that? This is a kind of a question for both of you. That there might be a reason for that, or is it just like lack of time?
I think there may be the mentality for you not to do it to give. Oh my gosh!
Oh my goodness!
Triple kill.
Not time for this kind of conversation.
No,
let's get back in the action.
This is what you cast or curse the action into fruition, and I appreciate you for it. Pasta finding one. We thought that Gore-Tech was going to pop off yet again, but now the Noodle Avenger themselves, Pasta pushing forward. It's now 6 and 7 total, and it's a beautiful sight to see. They're going to be able to continue to hold this. They've made it a 1 versus 3 situation as Retrospect tiptoes himself, runs across the courtyard. Underneath, The guessing game is the Central Michigan's responsibility to see where they find him.
Going for the big flank here.
Again, he's on defense trying to go for a flank here.
If he can get one pick here, then it's a 1v2.
Gets one pick into a 2v1, makes it another 1v1. Two 1v1s could be huge. Found across the courtyard. And shots there for Pasta. A 4-piece given on over. And Boise State, really good attempt to try and find themselves in a really powerful position. But the hunkering down for Pasta there will give them that round. So kudos to Central Michigan. They're going to take away Coastline. But there's still plenty more Rainbow Six Siege action ahead of us. Of course, the Idaho Army National Guard is a proud supporter of Boise State Esports. Top plays are presented by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. With more than 10 jobs, offering a $20,000 sign-on bonus and a degree of your choice paid for, the Idaho Army National Guard is the best team out there. Reach out on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. I'm going to. I mean, when we're done with this, of course.
Right now.
When it comes down to it, I mean, really dominant performance so far in this first map, but not without their own things to be picked up on. And some would call them flaws. I'd call them opportunities, little gold nuggets of information that have been given over to Boise State. What do you guys think is going to be the biggest thing that needs to change between Coastline as we move into Clubhouse?
I feel like, for the most part, Clubhouse plays the same. It's a big open map. I think the biggest change, though, is there's a lot more choke points where and I think that suits Boise State's team a lot, where they kind of just have these nice holds and then just can keep them from pushing in, because Coastline is just such a big map with multiple areas.
We're going into the band phase right here. What do someone call it out quick?
Jackal.
Ooh.
I feel like you can never go wrong with a Jackal.
Think he's gone?
You either
no
pick
Jackal
him or you
allowed.
ban him.
Either he's on the queue or he's banned for sure.
Sorry, I'm just trying to read the chat. My apologies. Koba's typing a very decipherable message. Looks like we are at the 5-second mark. No bans coming through just yet.
It's been a long 5 seconds.
So we're going to go through, not the ban phase just yet, so we'll have to wait. In the meantime, the players are going to decide what's going to be needed to change. I don't know about you guys, but I went through my water bottle pretty quickly, so I need to get myself another one. Hydration is, of course, one of the most important things, so stay tuned for some more Gridiron Rivals Rainbow Six Siege action. We'll be back after a quick break.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back to the Boise State Game Plans Esports Arena for tonight's Gridiron Rivals, the last one for 2021. Boise State versus Central Michigan in some Rainbow Six Siege action. Central Michigan, again, knowing how to play the game, were able to take away map 1, but we are far from finished. Again, I am Jared Baratel Castiglione, joined by Cosmic and Vagar. Gentlemen, Game 1 going Central Michigan's way, and we're kind of alluding to maybe some things that need to change for Boise State moving forward. If I were to give you both one opportunity, I will give Cosmic, what does Central Michigan need to do to continue to win this?
Oh, that's a good question. I think
That's me throwing the mic.
yeah. Okay, I'll catch it. I think what they've been doing really well, and they have continued to do. It seems like they're doing a great job at communication. You know, they're doing call-outs very well. They have their rotations down pat. Obviously, we saw a lot on Coastline that they knew what they were doing. They knew where each other was. You know, where they were. They were opening up those doorways. They were opening up those walls, and giving that an opportunity to get those line of sights, those quick picks off, kind of whittle the team down a little bit.
All right, and then for you, Vagar, how do the Broncos figure out a way to dismantle the Chippewa success so far?
I feel like one big thing, and we saw this a lot in that very last round, and this could also be like just a fluke, but they took a lot of just aggressive peeks when they didn't need to, especially on defense, because we saw the Zofia there get the 4K.
Right.
And they were in such a good position, and then they kind of just were taking this long angle against the Zofia and just losing man after man for at least the first 3.
And we see the lineup for Central Michigan, the Chippewas there, Milk Legends, Gore-Tex, 12 gauge, and Pasta, all really kind of showing up. Respect the backwards hat, though. That's an Ash Ketchum move. That's a classic. That's game time right there for Milk.
So you know how they're serious.
Yeah, they took that after going like 0-1 in a series, and then the picture day came, and they're like, I'm hat turned backwards. Done with this. Boise State versus the Central Michigan Chippewas here in the Gridiron Rival Series. This, again, to mention, this is the last one for the year, so it's do or die. Not really, of course, because this is a somewhat for fun series. It is for bragging rights. And in order to gain those, some docs keys of the game in R6. Know your callouts, start fast on easy prey, disorient with tacticals, and never take a fair fight. Again, Drop-In Gaming is going to be the ones providing the docs keys of the game, and they are the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. And whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. To begin your competitive gaming journey, sign up at dropingaming.com. I think it's an interesting point to make when it comes down to this is, you know, as we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, this is always the Gridiron Rival Series is something that takes place in coinciding with the football games, but that didn't happen for this matchup. This is like the deciding factor on who the best football team is by R6, right? Because that totally attributes best R6 team equals best football team, question mark? No answers.
Sorry, I was captivated.
You're doing the
these,
more important
by
things.
these bands that are coming out.
Thatcher we kind of saw coming, but the Maverick I think strikes me as a weird one.
Yeah, I don't know if we've
Whoa, Kaid.
Have we seen a Maverick pick yet? I don't know if we've seen.
We have.
Maverick.
We've seen Cade pick plenty of times.
Oh,
so that's I mean, it's due for, I guess, a respect band because it's shown really proficient on both sides for both teams.
Both teams so far, all these bands are gearing up for the CCTV site, I
Perfect.
believe it is.
Yeah.
And it's like Maverick just.
Oh, wow.
Nomura.
Yep. That's a big one. But is it ever a surprise when Mirror gets banned?
No Jackal
No.
ban though.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see if we're bringing out a little bit more roam heavy team for both sides.
Yeah, I think the Cade ban is interesting because I feel like the main reason why he's chosen so much is because he's so
Oh
versatile.
my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, I saw a thermite.
Yeah, we got some hard breachers coming in
It's breaching our screen.
with that Cade off the table.
It's Mute over here, apparently.
Mute is currently in our broadcasting room right now.
Dang it, hold on, my phone's ringing again. Hello?
Oh, no.
We're trying to get a
The spam
broadcast
call.
done, please.
Yeah.
No, I mean, with the thermite being picked, that does show it's action-packed. And for the way that the maps work specifically, Boise State did have attack first on coastline. Now we're moving to clubhouse. They're first on defense. So we'll have to see whether or not they are more comfortable on that. Yes, they didn't really get many rounds on defense the last map, but it's all about the momentum moving forward. Can they stop this forward progression from Central Michigan in their tracks? Ooh. See the big hand.
Yeah, we see
The
we see
big hand.
the few that had been picked kind of in place of Cade. You know, they have that Bandit there. They have the Mute. To
I
kind
love Bandit. I think
yeah,
Bandit's good.
I feel like Bandit and Mute are definitely very
That's the combo.
underrated in my opinion for sure.
It's such a cool combo in and of itself.
We're going to see some bandit tricks over here.
Oh yeah.
Just holding that wall right there is so
All right,
important.
we're
on
into the
this
action
site.
phase.
Getting ready to get this camera set up. Oh, pinging the Valk cam.
I wonder if they just completely avoid that garage area then.
I mean, it's possible. There's a lot of up and down. There's a lot of big open area to look out for. Little hidey holes people can be in. Watching that staircase fairly well too.
And some of that breaching. All seems to be on the lower floor so far. Oh, never mind. Three. Wow. A three-man squad on the roof. Ready to catapult themselves down to ground level. You can hard breach that vent, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And we see Milk sliding into that room from the rooftop itself with almost near invisibility.
Getting that foothold in here now.
Trying to find that magic pixel. This game is known for it. Hey, that pixel looks a different color than this wall's supposed to be. Click.
Just click heads. I mean,
Just
that's all
click
you really
them.
got to do. Just click heads.
Click heads, forehead.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of utility that they're going to get out of Valk here with those cams.
World's best dad coffee mug will be the first casualty in this round, unfortunately. Here comes the breach. Here comes the action. Shots across the board, and Gore-Tech will instantly fall. That's not a window you want to peek your head to as Korn is ready. Popping off shots left and right will be collapsed on, but utility won't be there only to scare him. Dangerously low, about one tick left. Does have a healer on his team, but has to get himself back to that station. And Gore-Tech, in the meantime, was revived.
Oh, wow.
Taken out, though, back down on the ground. This nap will be permanent for the rest of the round. Korn in the smoke, and this is such a good cover for them. Might be able to get a little bit of repositioning opportunity here. And another kill goes across the way. Tex stepping up big time, this time taking out Legends. Pasta and 12 Gauge are still up. And
Those are
the
two
dangerous
operators you don't
part
want
about
to lose
this is
early.
2 members of Boise State's 3 members are nowhere near full health. Oh my goodness.
First casualty on BSU.
Be the
That's a
lowest
Thunderbird.
member of the 5, so that's not the worst casualty, but a casualty nonetheless. 27 seconds remain. Boise State's doing a really good job stalling this one out. They're trying to find the angle. Shots are going haywire left and right, but no one will find the victor. But Neon will be the one, a magnet of sorts, to absorb those. And 10 seconds remain. Boise State just needs to hold this off a little bit longer. A double kill over to Tex. And he'll lose half his health, but it's worth it. He's continuing to stall us out. Goes for the triple! He dodges the knife, and he says, no! You will not take this point. He'll nod his head yes as well for some sort of BM.
Absolutely losing his mind.
Thank
like we are.
goodness that there's no emotes in this game.
The best they can do is just up and down or left and right, you know.
As you get the kill cam, you're just like, Let me show you how high my DPI is.
Exactly.
That's when you have a side button that you hold, and it just triples your DPI, and you just go for a
drag it
whirlwind
across the-
throw.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Spin so fast you'll just fly off.
The thermite sledge combo. You hit the explodey, and it goes boom. That's the real move. Wonder if that's the right mentality, though, because we just saw Finka and Thermite come through. That's something that indicates a lot of aggression. Sledge does the same thing, but as we can clearly see, that aggression was halted in its tracks by the defense from Boise State. So, I don't know. If the controlling of that pacing is going to be the motif for Boise State on D, it's going to be hard to attack it.
Mm-hmm. It was interesting to see like the Boise State team just kind of held fast there.
Yeah, exactly.
I forget who it was, but the person who downed, or I think Corn, yes.
Yeah.
They downed the thermite right away, and that just put a huge stop on all their plans because they got to get him back up right away. They don't want to lose him, and then they ended up losing him and the Finka, which and then they had to push with like a low time on the clock and just all downhill from there.
Yeah, I mean it's almost like you could consider throwing some sort of shield out there. If that's really the mentality you want to play, and you have these really important operators like the thermite who need to be kept alive for them to be useful, why not throw someone in front with a shield? Where's the clash?
Where's the clash push?
Where's the clash, please?
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot less of shields in competitive, mainly with the recent change. You know, there's about a pixel of clearance just over the shield where the head is easily picked. So, I mean, it makes sense, but if they're moving in here, they're doing so strategically. You can see that they're sticking pretty close together. They've got two in that first room, the Sledge and the Iana, sticking pretty close together.
No Blackbeard, though, sad. I just throw obscure operator names out there and see if they stick.
Exactly. We just want to make chat as mad as possible.
Yeah. Who doesn't like Blackbeard?
There just needs to be an entire recruit round. Everyone's recruit. We'll just see how it goes.
Who's got the best guns? At me. All right, Retrospect having a shotgun. I respect that, but 12 Gauge hasn't seen their loadout just yet. Pretty sure that they are unable to get a shotgun with that character. Doesn't matter. I think we're also seeing like a distinct minimalist approach towards using utility, but you don't get anything for saving it. Use them all. Use everything you have every round. Here comes the shots. Finds the Iana. We'll go for the headshot. Gets the shoulder instead, but that's a nice pickup and a first blood for the round. Gonna get shot on their own. The blind is here. Gets found out in the corner, an evening and an equalizer. Boise State losing one. 12 Gauge looking for an angle into the window. Still with some teammates. You just bounced the drone off the windowsill? Okay.
I don't think that's covered under the warranty.
I don't think that's very cash money. No, it is. You don't treat your drones like that, though. That's not okay. Wally would be very mad. Corn dangerously low, blinking health, but they don't have the opportunity to heal. They're not near that station.
Saw a couple of switches there in that last round. One to Castle, it looks like. We have a smoke now. Definitely a little bit, at least with the smoke, a little more aggressive.
Oh, wasn't able to find a double kill for 12 Gauge. He pushes forward. It's a 2 versus 2 in the blink of an eye. A triple kill going over to 12 Gauge. Has half their HP alive. Tex will make it a 1v1.
12 Gauge is
He's got the health advantage, but does he know it? It's, again, the huge question mark on why are not the communications that poignant to say, hey, 12 Gauge may have got the triple, but he is blinking in health right now. You could breathe on him, sneeze on him, and he will fall over. Goes for the defuser.
At this point, that they got to do that. You know,
yeah, no choice.
Extend that clock a little bit.
Oh my gosh! Pros don't fake, but he did.
Sneaky flank.
Great flank opportunity. Crouched until the final moments. Yes, your DPI is very high.
We know.
Boise State showing that there were some adjustments that were made between rounds, and now they are 2-0 up over Central Michigan. So whether or not it's defense versus offense, they heard my call.
We see a Sledge coming out.
They're summoning the power of the hammer.
They know what's going on.
Rumble. Guys, that's a Rook and a Castle. I'm in. I'm 100% into this.
Interesting.
Bringing out all the originals.
Exactly, yeah.
Let's go. All the originals. I'm so excited for this, actually. Does this change the way that they've been playing? You said, Vhagar, that they've been playing like this kind of hold-fast mentality and kind of sticking to their angles and onto these sites. What changes now that these two operators have been introduced to the roster?
Honestly, it's kind of just the same thing. The castle just helps with that hold.
Oh, wait, you can
Rook
push it away.
Look at this.
Wow.
What, mate?
Just surfing up here.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
It's basically, yeah, now they have
Let's
a whole
play the
camera in
game.
there.
Yeah. Setting up their own Valk cams. It's a defensive,
What?
or I mean, offense Valk.
What is... These guys are insane. Unfortunately, the game isn't determined by drone placement, but definitely helps.
Yeah, always bonus points.
That is definitely some style points. I'll give 1 style point to you, Gortek. Can't do anything with it. Doesn't help you win, but at least you got one. Now, with those cameras and drones being placed up there on those kind of third and second tier levels, and these 2 bombs being in the basement, it kind of nullifies that as an advantage for Central Michigan, right?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're not focusing too much on their hard breach. I mean, they have a Habana, they have a Thermite. You know, they're ready to hard breach. They have that, obviously, that long hallway in that construction zone area that they could breach. They have the opportunity to do it. I think might limit them a little bit, but looks like they're pushing fairly conservatively right now. Watching those upstairs roamers.
They just want to get as much top control as they can here. So it's going to start getting a little hairy if they let them take this top area, because what's going to happen is they're going to just start blowing holes downwards. And
Yeah,
you're going to have to really watch your lineups.
Ooh. Gortek finds a 1v1, but will take it. Take some damage, but not enough to be considered an unworthy trade. And here comes the breach, as you guys mentioned, blowing downwards. Into the ground they go, and found the bomb site as well. And another Boise State member will drop. They're getting collapsed on from both the side angles as well as the top angle. And this is a dicey situation. Corn will find a 1v1, but they'll both be taken and knocked down. Milk giving over information on where he's hiding. No one able to retreat themselves into a position to res their teammate just yet. Oh, and he'll be finished off as Legends will find a double kill. It's going to be a 1 versus 3. Brennebear alone. Definitely still possible, though. Gortek will go for the defuse. Shots across through the doorway, and now Central Michigan playing a little bit more low and slow, methodical, get themselves a round win on this map.
That's just unfortunate timing there at the end.
Yeah.
The Rainbow Six Siege timing.
Ah, shoot. Now, as much as I really liked the castle, they stick with it. Was it a hindrance or a benefit?
That's a tough one. Castle is always one of those operators that you pick, and you see it like in pro play and stuff, but it's like, is it useful? Did I actually get some use out of it?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's more just a mild inconvenience, if anything.
Ooh.
Pick 6 to Jaeger.
Oh.
And a Finka. Interesting.
I don't know if 12 gauge was trolling there for a minute, but he had a Cali pick there.
Cali Mega.
Gosh, Cali's an interesting one, to say the least. We'll say interesting because that's where we'll leave it.
Well, I feel like a lot of the time Cali is picked when Thatcher is no longer on the table. You know, she has that ability to breach those hard surfaces and take those things down that that Thatcher used to be able to. So, I mean, I wouldn't put it past him, but you know, that's extent of her utility for sure.
And you get a cool sniper rifle. What more could you want?
exactly.
Also
yeah.
the sniper.
Who doesn't want that?
We've seen in broadcasts past, Cali kind of just wreck shop candy when it comes to bomb sites on the second level, just because of the ability to breach through those side angles and just pick people off left and right.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, all she needs is a view of your elbow or something like that. That's all it takes.
Hey, you've hit your elbow on the table before. That thing hurts. Imagine getting your elbow shot.
Yeah, I mean, you got me there.
Not a fan. That'd put me down for the count. I don't know about you.
A stubbed toe.
Yeah, worse than the pinky stub toe on a cold morning is that of the getting shot in the elbow. Can you have your funny bone removed? Just asking for a friend.
for a friend, of course.
Isn't it elective surgery? How much would it cost? Again, asking for a friend.
I haven't seen too much of a change on Central Michigan's side.
Right.
Still running the hard breach. Got the Zofia down. The Finca pick, they had attempted before when they did. Obviously, we were talking about that thermite Finca push. Was able to get that friend up. Be interesting to see what they do differently here.
On the site, just by looking through the window. Gosh, these guys are just throwing their drones everywhere, man.
Intel gathering is genius.
Yeah.
Making sure
that
they know
why
where they're
expose yourself to the danger when you can just do the drone? Ooh. Corn will find the first casualty for Boise State. But not without a trade. Pasa losing about half HP there through this window. Oh my goodness, that shot.
Nope.
12 gauge finding an angle as well. Neon will fall. Retrospect running for the hills. Going back towards the healing. Thunderbird was able to provide. What else can they gather? Time stands still. As now it's up to Central Michigan. They're putting themselves in a position of proactivity. And they're putting out the hard breaches. Here it goes. 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh.
Perfect timing.
Wow, that was impressive. Double kill going over to Legends. Just as impressive, if not maybe a little less. The shot's going through. It's just going to be Tex and Brenneber. Brenneber dangerously low. Tex will fall. Now it leaves Brenneber in the sight of this healing drone, but it's not enough healing as a flawless round comes out now for Central Michigan, and they are now playing with fire, tying things up 2-2.
Yeah, as we saw in the end of that round, they kind of got backed into a corner. There was a lot of hard breaches. There was a lot of walls opened up, windows opened up. There was a lot of places they could shot from, and they just kind of backed into that one stairwell together, which didn't give them a good advantage for sure.
Yeah, the Valkyrie just
The
bumped into
Wamai.
me. It's like, hey, this is my hiding
whoa,
spot.
yeah, let's hide together.
Does Wamai get 6 picked out, though?
Interesting. I mean, Wamai has a very solid rifle, too.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
the loadout for Wamais.
The Finca again. A Malusi as
The
well.
Malusi.
Okay.
All right, explain.
Well, it seems like they're just kind of, Central Michigan's just kind of pushing in. And, well, Malusi with, I forget what her gadget is called. But it just
Let's
kind
call
of
it the
halts
cool gadget for now.
Yeah.
cool gadget.
Yeah.
I've heard people call it the Wub Wubs.
See if that is able to do some work here for Boise State. We mentioned when they were 2-0 that when they controlled the pacing of this round and stop the momentum from Central Michigan from pushing forward freely, to put themselves in the driver's seat. Does switching over to Malusi and Wamai offer that as a easier opportunity?
And I'm thinking their idea with this is to kind of just hunker down like they are.
Right.
But they're just kind of adapting the strategy a little bit more. Kind of just getting Wamai to keep, flashbangs and stuff, and then Malusi to help stop or slow the push to hopefully just lure him in.
I feel like even if the bomb sites change, Central Michigan's playing this in a very routine way. With that being said, the routine obviously is probably something practiced and it's very successful. You continue to do the same thing. I don't know, it's exploitable to some point, to some extent.
The double hard breacher is really nice for the redundancy as well.
Yeah, they're still. It looks like BSU is still doing their best to prevent against the hard breaches. With you got the mutant, still the bandit. Will it be enough though?
Nice shots, but this time Legends will find one. Go for a little bit of self-healing there.
Oh,
Go
wow.
with the
Penetration
two-piece.
kill.
And Legends is really popping off on this operator.
Just had some intuition there.
The game sense. Pushing forward, making it a 3v5. They're getting themselves closer to that buy 10, get 1 free option right now, but it's not free just yet. So I get some more punches in that gift card. Retrospect holding angles in a very dark corner. Could be able to use that to their advantage. Hard reach coming through. Here comes the action. Who's going to push first? Oh, and Neon will fall on their own flank, and They were surrounded by members for Central Michigan, so there's no way for Boise State to retaliate.
You have to see here. They still, at the end of the day, have to push into them.
Right.
Bomb located by attackers.
Okay.
Got
Retrospect
one.
finding one. And we collapse on by 2 more. Here comes that utility, the one that we were asking for so long. Oh, he's going to be found out from both angles. Shot from 2 angles as well. He will fall finally.
There it is.
Valiant effort.
Great try, trying to find a better target. And truth be told, definitely died a lot later than probably expected in a 1 versus 2. But regardless, that will give a 3rd round win over to Central Michigan, and now they take the lead for the first time on the map.
Yeah, we'll have to see here what Boise State changes in their strategy.
Let's put traps everywhere.
Yeah.
What's the, he's a defender.
Capcan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Where's that guy?
Yeah, I was thinking right away because you saw how that Finka was just kind of walking through those doorways so
Right.
quickly. It's like,
Just kind of, unknowingly. And
It's like, even if there wasn't a Capcan trap there, if they do know there's a Capcan, it's like you have
that's
to
going to
check
prevent
them all.
that. Yeah,
and
for
it
sure.
instills caution.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how Boise State is still kind of maintaining this almost like turtle shell approach where they're like, okay, we're going to put up all these defenses, we're going to hold our ground, we're going to stay in these defensive zones, but 90% of the places that they're trying to defend from have multiple entrances, and you have 2 people coming from either side, as we've seen a number of times, as they're just trying to, Boise State's trying to hide behind this one little area. So it'll be cool to see how they try to address that.
For sure.
I'm not seeing much in the way of changing there for Boise State. They pick up the blitz yet again.
10 seconds remaining.
Castle as well.
Got the castle back.
Yeah. I think it's important, but again, we do wonder, not a lot of utility that can be dropped and forgotten, so that way they don't have to worry about those open angles that you were mentioning. You put down some Capcan traps on some of these doorways, you don't have to watch that angle anymore.
Yeah, I think Castle's a little bit difficult because there are just so many operators right now that have soft breach, and that basically counters him without even having to be a character counter. We see another. It seems almost like a more aggressive defense from the smoke pick, as they're trying to prevent them from gaining access to those areas that are going to be allowed, allow them to be pinched like they have been in the past.
Just buys time for them.
And that could be a win condition for Boise State. They don't have to play to get the eliminations out. Sure, that'll help and make it more definitive, but at the end of the day, if they buy the time they need to for that to go down to 0, they're in. That's unfortunately not a good start. As Paso finds another first blood. Corn using as many cameras as possible. We switched over to text just because of the fact that those cameras are being swiftly and easily dealt with. Nice shots,
Yeah.
Paso using as much as they can to try and get themselves another kill. Again, that 2-piece.
That those castle walls just go away like that.
Okay. Tex finding one for themselves. Milk going to be taking some trade damage there.
Attackers have
And
located a
this is
bomb.
a great opportunity. Thunderbird, caw-caw! Will be able to afford a little bit of trading room for Neon, getting that 1 piece. The health would normally be even if it were not for that healing from Thunderbird. So good draft option for them. And as we mentioned, time is the name of the game. 1:20 on the clock.
Yeah, it almost seems like the attackers and defenders are almost switching positions at this point. We see a lot of people, not on the point, and the attackers pushing into the point.
Oh, he finds him, but not fast enough. The quick draw will find the drop. Is there someone in range to get the res back up? Boise State's got the bell
Got a self-res,
signaling.
too. Oh, there it is.
And there's a smoke at 3-3. A nice trade. 12 gauge will find one. Brenner Bear will find one of their own before they fall. Retrospect will be the one with the lowest health bar on the remaining 6, but overall health total, favorite for Boise State.
And there's only 40 seconds remaining here. If I don't.
What, Gore-Tex just chilling on the roof. I haven't gotten any damage, guys. Yeah, but you haven't seen anybody yet. Okay, the 2 versus 1, but it doesn't end up, and Tex can stand it away. The 1 versus 2, and they'll take one down.
And they took him. Now it's just the Iona here.
Now
And
it's just Iona, and they find the diffuser. It's going to be a 1 versus 3. Again, definitely possible within the realm of this game, but They got the sniffers out, and they smell blood, and they'll take it. Tie things back up. 3-3, and this is a game, boys.
Getting interesting now.
I will say I do not think the castle here has really been providing a lot of utility.
Right.
It's like I really like their comp. I just think the castle is the
Captain.
I mean, we're seeing a
Wow.
lot of those soft breaches, even from range. You know, you have Zofia, you have Ash, all those opportunities, and then Castle loses almost all of his utility, and just becomes a recruit basically.
Right. And we're seeing a almost exclusively different setup, minus the Thermite from Boise State now on attack. 6-pick over to
there's
the Collie,
there's the Collie.
and the Frost.
Interesting.
We were
There's the
talking about
traps.
preventing movement.
Yeah.
I think that's a great operator to do it.
Do you think that's in anticipation that Boise State might reciprocate in that aggression? You know, that full-on push, like rush strat that they'd been trying.
It's possible.
Yeah, because they want to switch it up. They 6-picked it, so they're definitely
Yeah.
using it more
I
for
feel like,
surprise.
they're like, oh, our Finka was really good. They're going to totally draft Finka. Nah, bud. We're going to do the long con. We're going to snipe you from range. Well, snipers in this game are kind of laughable in my opinion, but someone's got to do it, right?
They're doing their best to
They're
even
doing
it
their
out.
best.
Poor Glaz, though.
Oh, Glaz. Used to be S tier and is now like F tier.
So sad. What are you going to do?
What did they? How does her sniper work now?
Whom?
Collie?
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Great question. Twitch chat?
Twitch chat can help us out.
Okay.
Twitch chat's like plat, I think, right?
Yeah, something like
course.
that. Or plat equivalent.
Equivalent. They're challenger. If
Yeah.
there was a challenger rank.
So I know that it's a hard breach. She can shoot through reinforced surfaces, and I think she can see. Can she see behind those reinforced surfaces if there's, if they're like charged or cated or something like that? Be
Chat.
interesting to see.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out.
Chat, we need you.
Does
Yeah,
Chanka have a gift wrap on the drum of their
I
gun?
think so.
That
Birthday
is
present to
incredible.
himself.
The present, yeah.
That's all Chachanka wanted for Christmas. One
like-
big gun.
Looks like they're going a little soft on the hard breach,
How
though.
can he hold that phone in his big ol' hands? Interesting. Why shoot the ceiling there over the barricade?
Okay.
Oh.
Twitch drone in. Oh.
That's a big utility to lose right away.
Yeah, exactly. Don't have very many of those.
Hard breach is coming out. Kaboom. Gonna go with the
first hard
bait and
breach.
switch opportunity, though. I do like this. Boise State's opening up vision lines for someone else to peek, but not getting themselves in the position in the direct line of fire after those are opened. Unfortunately, Pasta will find Tex wanting to try and find a flank, but will be snuffed out. Milk will lose half HP, though, for that to be afforded. So, silver lining, however thin it is still one.
Yeah, it's another one of those things. You don't have to peek whatever doorway you or wall you
Right.
blow open. Just having that open just makes the defenders uneasy.
Exactly.
They are affording plenty of time. We only see 1:15 left in the clock, and it's going to force Boise State to be proactive. It's a lot easier to be defensive and reactive when you're on the defender side, but Boise State needs to find a plan and put it together quickly because they only got a minute left. Oh, my camera.
Managed to
Mute doing
sneak
good.
it in there.
Making good use there.
A bomb has been located.
They found it. Now how do they approach it with 45 left? Find that drone in the corner.
they
Pasta's still
can-
holding an angle.
With the hard breach.
Got to. Here they come. Nice evening trade. The equalizer. Retrospect will find one and not lose much or any health actually for it. And they still have a weakened member still alive on Central Michigan. So if anything, the health totals right now for both teams favoring Boise State. Oh, here pop-off opportunity. Number one.
15 seconds to
Just
go.
shoot them. Shoot. Click heads. Smokes
they gotta make
aplenty.
some sort of
Hard to
call here.
breathe. Gonna walk into a trap as Corn will fall.
5 seconds to go.
But on the backside, Corn did not fall, actually.
got it
Someone
down.
else. Neon and the remainder of the team will be the ones falling. Does not find the kill, but he needed to so desperately. And we'll get that diffuser taken off. And fourth round win going over to Central Michigan. But again, neck and neck. See whether or not Boise State can answer back.
That execution was done so well, and it
Yeah.
just shattered right at the very end.
Play the game. Whoa.
Yeah, again, we're seeing a lot of very equal, rounds here. Again, with the 2v1, the 1v1s, like it's coming very down to the wire. And obviously, with the rounds, that has shown that they are very evenly matched in what they're doing.
All right, now we see the Dokkaebi. See some Dokkaebi. Do you think the frost helped a lot with that as well?
I didn't see anything with the frost there.
Right.
And it's like,
Oh no, it crashed.
unfortunate. It's like,
I like how that's the message.
Oh, no.
Not like unexpected
crashed.
error, it's just, oh no, it crashed.
crashed. Whoops. What
I can
you
see
do?
that. Thank
Exactly. Yeah, what you were saying, I didn't see a lot of frost utility. If it was, I honestly couldn't even tell if it was even picked or not. I assumed that it was, but I didn't see any of those traps fallen for, through underneath windows or from behind those deployable covers. But yeah, it's very interesting to see how well matched they are on attack and defense with this map particularly.
Yeah, it seems to be the same kind of struggles that Boise State had on the beginning parts of attack on Coastline was the not necessarily lack of willingness to be proactive, just not a clear way to do so, given their situation. And when you have a man down and you're pushing into 5, it's hard to say, okay, here's the plan. I know we're weaker, but we have to do this. It's kind of it's a difficult thing, especially if you're like the shot caller in that situation.
Yeah, for sure.
In my game, I just get screamed at regardless. So there's no like strategy or teamwork. It's just a bunch of yelling.
Yeah.
But somehow through that insane amount of communication, it somehow ends up working sometimes. And that's kind of maybe what Boise State needs. Is maybe not like a bunch of rampant yelling, sure, but more of constant communication. I shot this guy. This guy's lit. Or
Yeah.
we've seen opportunities for them to really clutch up a round, but not having the information on how much damage has been done to an operator on the opposing side, giving them a little caution or vice versa. Hey, I just went through this room. There was one guy in this corner. He did get me. I shot him 2 times. You go for it. So more communication, I think, would be the call.
Yeah, for sure.
They also say in a different video game that hesitation is the seed of defeat. I'll give you 1 Baratelle point if you can name what game that's from.
Couldn't tell you.
That wouldn't be Sekiro, right?
No.
Okay.
Sounds like a Sekiro reference.
Yeah.
It's League of Legends.
League of Legends.
League.
Yeah.
Interesting.
6 out of every 23 things that I say will be reference to League of Legends.
All right, I'll write that down for next time.
That's my ratio. Got to
Yeah.
work it in somehow. But again, there's also highlights. This time, it looks like a completely different team. Boise State, in between Map 1 and Map 2, maybe had some conversations about what Central Michigan likes to do. And they came out swinging in these first couple rounds. They're neck and neck. There's only 1 round separating the two, whereas in Map 1, there was a huge disparity in terms of round points.
Oh, yeah. They've definitely, I think part of it's they're just having like that unshakable nerve. Like, I believe it was actually Tex, not Korn, who was like just sitting back there on that, I think it was the first or second round, and like they were throwing nades over by him. They hard breached the that
It's like ducking
wall.
behind the bomb, like, please, guys, help me, please.
Yeah, I mean he didn't run or anything, too,
Right.
and it just held
Stood
the
his ground,
round.
yeah.
Yeah,
We've noticed a lot more in this map. I guess the dichotomy between them, where we see, those longer hallways, and you have those more open areas. There, like you were saying before, there's a lot more choke points here, and there's tighter corners, and there's more breachable. It feels like there's more breachable surfaces, at least, that can get you advantage into those kinds of rooms that you need to get the advantage there. I noticed that there was a floor length destruction on one of the breachable walls where they were just picking toes off, basically.
I'm telling you, man, getting shot in the toe it's a dangerous thing. I wouldn't want to fight anyone after I got a toe shot off, and looks like that's exactly what's happening right now. Round 8 will go by the wayside, and Boise State still struggles to find it. I couldn't exactly tell what had happened, but it looked like a giant swing of action, and just ended up being the stalwart defense of Central Michigan that proved supreme. 5-3. The disparity's growing a little bit. Boise State still having some time to get themselves back on track, but we'll see the Vigil for the first time tonight, I do believe, with IQ for the first showing as well.
Interesting. Because, yeah, IQ is a Vigil counter. I don't know if they intended that or not, but...
Intended. No pick
Good
six.
game sense. Great game sense.
Oh, to what?
Oh,
Hana.
hard breach. Yeah.
Let's go.
That's what they were missing.
And, of course, the Sledge, respect every time. Doesn't matter if it wins or not. It's
One
always a
Baratel
win in my
point.
book.
A Baratel point awarded.
You get 1 Baratel point.
Are there any Baratel bucks? Like
On my Twitch.
a greater currency?
You know, like the channel points?
Yeah.
That's what I've named my channel
Oh,
points.
okay.
Baratel
Nice.
bucks.
I like
Yeah.
that.
We won't talk about my stream. That's not necessary. I play games like this, but definitely not at this level.
Yeah. No, I agree.
If you want to watch a gamer who watches the rest of his team do everything because they've died first in the round
Yeah, the
every time,
spectator.
then I'm right there for I'm your best content provider. I like the setup, though. It continues to kind of hammer home the motif of we are stalwart, we are defense. But this time it's on the side of Central Michigan. They said, well, we couldn't break through it, so we're challenging Boise State to do the same.
Yeah, the Vigil is particularly really good right here. Because when he has
Better
the
than
gadget
Castle?
Yes. His gadget when it turns on, the drones know you're in the area.
Yeah.
So you got 3 stories here, so he can have it on any of these floors,
Right.
and they don't know where
They
he
don't know
is.
where he
He
is,
could be
yeah.
Smart.
right on the site, and they'll think he's on the 3rd floor.
Yeah, I hope to see that this IQ might, because I feel like a lot of the time when you have a hard breach counter, like mute or something, that can prevent that, you get some wasted Cairo pellets as a Habana. You shoot them and then it's like, oh, it can't be activated, and you didn't know going into that was going to be muted. So hopefully that IQ
Corn with the
can
first
provide
blood.
that.
Again, they're able to find these kind of chokeholds, and maybe it's just quick reaction, but afforded themselves a quick trade with no damage on their side. Huge momentum boon for Boise
They
State.
caught him out there with
Corn
the
looking
line.
for more. Sniffing them out. They hear the movement, maybe. Oh, here comes the breach. Kaboom. He's got to check every corner, and he finds one.
Oh,
Oh, he actually got it.
wow.
Wow.
I don't know how he shot him right in the tailbone at the end there.
He froze because he's clipping it. He
Yeah,
just
perfect.
flipped that.
Well, get the
Gotta put this on
camera.
my NVIDIA GeForce real quick. Here comes the breaches, and yes, now the proactivity. This is clearly showing that Boise State wants to be the ones in the driver's seat, and they're putting the pedal to the metal. No hesitation, and 120, already 2 kills down the board. They're still trying to figure out their approach. I don't think it's going to be, oh my gosh, the metal!
Oh, they
But he
got
finds it! Corn gets his kill taken away, the triple piece, no!
And
Hate
now
to see it.
Now they're finally like, we can go downstairs.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there's no one holding
They
these
have
angles. It's
confidence
just 2
there.
versus 3. Do they find themselves their own flawless round is the real question now. Pasta holding a great angle. The magic pixel is theirs.
This Lion has been just instrumental here.
This is the stuff about this game that makes me like, you really? Corn privy to this though, knows the angle, finds a 3-piece. Will he find the 4?
There it is.
He'll find the 4-piece to capitalize on a flawless round, and Boise State is not anywhere close from done from this map.
That sledge where he just runs over, breaks the hatch.
Game sense for sure. He heard the footsteps.
It's the most power move.
Yeah, it definitely felt like there was a
Taka.
good sense of countering, and they knew, they knew what Central Michigan might do.
You're kidding.
Oh,
They're listening to the broadcast, right?
they're
They
in
have
Twitch
to
chat
know.
right now.
They have to know. I did not see that. I'm not going to say that I saw that, but I did see a Dokkaebi. So
Dokkaebi. Maybe it was a fake out.
it is.
It was just for the
these Boise
memes.
State teams really love to mess with the casters. Let me tell you. Lovely resident Garen expert. Sometimes Boise State will like hover Garen for a second and then switch to a real champion.
Yep.
This is no different. I respect the fact that you hovered it, but if you don't pick it, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Looks like
Let's
Dokkaebi is in.
Oh, yeah.
Got a Dokkaebi pick. This should be interesting.
All right, that's 10 Baratel points right there.
Is there a gifted sub in there somewhere?
No. Not made of money.
Oh, fair. Understandable.
I wish. Maybe one day. It would be kind of difficult to be made out of money. Like paper and stuff.
Wouldn't be able to move very well.
I get myself paper cuts all the time.
Or if you're coins, you're just very loud everywhere.
Speaking of kind of halting progress, despite Central Michigan being on defense here, the Dokkaebi affords a kind of a momentary grace period for Boise State to move, I wouldn't say with impunity, but with less restriction.
More confidence. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
And if
Because
they-
they're going to be distracted.
If they coordinate that with the Lions too, you got the phone buzzing and they can't move without getting pinged.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just
It's a good combination.
It's a great combo. We'll see how it works out. Again, putting their drones into harm's way. Maybe a questionable decision depending on your love of drones, but it is what they're there for.
That communication seems like that drone out was instrumental for Sledge to be able to enter that room confidently.
There's no one.
Some good
Is this
communication.
atypical? I don't.
Yeah, this
Maybe
is an
the way I'm
interesting
perceiving
rotate.
where the bombs are is different, but oh yeah, I was thought they were on the floor that no Central Michigan players was on. That was
Okay,
confusing
yeah.
to me. We're good. Ooh, flick.
oh, you can change how many
Oh, wow,
pellets
yeah.
now. I did not know
Okay.
that.
You can do what?
You can change how many pellets you want to fire.
Oh really?
Yeah, the standard's usually 6, but was it 4 and 2?
Oh, here it goes.
Oh, there's
the
first
emote.
Dokkaebi.
They got a phone down
Got sights
there.
on a phone up there, yeah.
So you need to pick it up and things become even more haywire. Such a cool way to play the game is like by not playing the game, you know? Let your team do everything and you just get to have fun the whole time.
I think the Dokkaebi's relatively risky, especially once Central Michigan knows that there's a Dokkaebi, because they're just going to guard those bodies fairly well.
Right. Or are they?
Oh,
Putting themselves in harm's way to do so. Gives themselves an opportunity to be capitalized on. Boise State now up 5-3. Milk Tatanka will be able to hold this as long as they can. Gift wrapper, no, the president's going to be over to Tex. A double kill for them.
another flawless round.
It's possible.
Here we go.
Back to back. No.
Oh, close.
I jinxed it. My bad.
Yeah, you're too close
Blame
to
it
the
on
desk.
Cosmic.
You're too close to this desk to say things with definitive
Okay.
nature.
Is there no wood? There's some wood next to me. I'll knock on that.
It won't work.
You
The
balanced
caster
it out.
curse. The caster curse is too real.
It's true.
This desk, not only now that I didn't know this, you could write on the desk, which is phenomenal. But that does not
Dry
take
erase.
away its ability to curse you. This is a magical artifact.
Got to just draw some runes on there now.
They're probably somewhere engraved in the writing. Four
We got
versus
some
one.
trades there. Ooh, Sledge dangerously low right now.
Legends alone.
Did they down them for the extra?
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
there it goes.
Lucy getting taken down. Look at this angle just being held with impunity.
The patience required.
Peak R6 action. I will stare at this wall until something moves, and then I will shoot at the thing that moves until it stops moving.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like both teams have those just absolute like pixel width, one
The
pixel by one
Legion,
pixel.
okay.
width.
A Legion? Oh, no.
Nope.
Oh,
Okay. Double.
saw
Okay.
a Jackal pick there. Should be interesting.
No
for
more.
sure.
No more Dokkaebi. Although it proved to be valuable to some extent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe
But I
not the
think-
full maximum value, but it was definitely an annoyance.
Yeah. Well, now they knew they had a Dokkaebi, so it's like
Yeah.
we got to change it
Yeah,
back.
you got to keep them guessing for sure.
It's a chess match.
Yeah.
Sure. Always
Moves,
pulling out
counter
and
moves,
moving
counter
those
moves.
pieces every time. Boise State, again, still continuing to be competitive means that whatever they got going for them, whatever they talked about, it's working. Because it's not a complete
sure.
kind of landslide. It's not a blowout. It's 5-5.
Yeah,
And
dead
again,
even here.
it's the
Dead
first to 7,
even.
but you have to win by 2. So this continues back and forth.
Oh, a 0 pick on
Okay.
Boise State side.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, it should be a good good intel gain. It looks like they're gearing a little bit more towards that, especially with the Jackal pick. Jackal has what is it, a minute and a half of clearance between when a player was there. So there's, that's like half the round almost.
right.
10 seconds left left before insertion.
Still just the amount of intel you can provide with the Jackal. And then
Yeah.
he's got really great weapons. too.
Absolutely, yeah. Arguably some of the best in the game, which I think is why he's so commonly banned. I was surprised to not see a Jackal ban in this, as you see it a lot. But the Zero should be. I'm excited to see how the Zero can benefit them on those reinforced surfaces.
Yeah. The thing with Zero is I feel like there's never a situation where you really need him over Twitch.
Yeah,
or-
exactly.
So we'll see if they can really capitalize on it.
Trying to find a camera. Not able to do anything just yet.
Playing it safe.
Drone.
Opened it up.
Interesting. Is he going to start from the bottom up here?
Probably
This
just
is
looking for
such
those
a unique
roamers.
and kind of intuitive angle to approach, but we've seen kind of this spread mentality falter to Central
Yeah.
Michigan, both on attack and defense. They do like to group somewhat close together to provide as much coverage of each other's areas as possible. So kind of going in alone is a scary ordeal.
Kyra
Burst
Pelt's
through
coming
this.
out.
Boom.
Cut off that rotation.
Yeah. A perfect line of sight to that window.
Oh, so cool.
Oh, that
so
IQ.
cool.
Yes. Pinging all those things too. That's definitely something I feel like some IQs forget to do is, they get the information for themselves, but they don't call that out to the team.
Right.
So that information will be vital for, especially the hard breachers and stuff. The Habana that they have to understand where those things are going to be.
Yeah, it could give a lot of intel as to what's being kind of coerced around by the defenders as well. You often put down defenses near where you're standing to cover. Fortunately, Pasta will find an angle on Corn. And we'll actually find another one. Legends will take out Tex on the backside too. The diffuser has been dropped to 3 versus 5. It's going to be another blow for blow. Neon dangerously low. No blood being spilled on the side of Central Michigan just yet. They're full healthy.
Across the board.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
Boise State was able to pick up the diffuser. What do they do with it's the question.
A Jackal being dangerously low.
It's interesting. They need to get a pick or two here
Kind of even it out a little bit more.
for. They only have 30 seconds left. They need to
Yeah.
really make something happen.
Trepidation is, it's got to be a calculated risk, right? That's what you need to go for. But again, you can't really stop and make those decisions. You need to, finds the footprints. The analyzation
15
coming
seconds
through.
to go.
A little bit, I think a little bit too late for things to be coming to fruition for Boise State, and more of these coming through. And
There's the 2 picks, but
They don't have the time to get in there.
2 to 2. Not enough time to get the final 2 kills though.
it's unfortunate. They started pulling it together there. It was mainly just the time management.
Yeah, and it could have been something as simple as Central Michigan getting a little too confident. They're overextending a little bit because they know that Boise State can't really make much of a move there. Probably why we saw a couple picks go out.
That is very true.
This is do or die for Boise State. If Central Michigan can pull this off, they'll get to 7 points. You have to win by 2, and it's the first 7. If Boise State can tie this up, then it's the first to 8.
Wow.
And again, with Boise State already losing the first map, this could be their
The end
ticket
of it.
home, and Central Michigan can send them with the L. Seeing Thunderbird,
Every time we have to do it. We have to do it.
it's a tradition.
ace.
But the ace coming out,
Okay.
interesting.
Get some more hard breach going.
I think the mute is and the castle. We've seen castle struggle to be valuable for Boise State. Is there a difference in what the rest of Central Michigan's bringing to this defense round that makes castle more ease of access, more accessible?
I really don't think so. I see what both teams are doing with it, 'cause they got the laser grid plus I forget the name of the gadget.
Yeah.
And the
Call it the
castle
cool
walls.
ability.
And they're just trying to buy as much time here. They got Jaeger, Mute, Castle, Thunderbird. It's just everything is to set up the site and make it as difficult for these attackers to get in here. And even if the castle utility gets destroyed here, it's some utility that's not being used on their other utility.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. I mean, if for nothing else, just for her arm. I mean, that should be her main ability.
She just gets to punch people. Who's the guy that can just go through walls?
Oryx?
Yes.
Oryx, yeah.
Why is he not played?
That's all he does.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, but
that's the
that's so
extent of his
cool.
ability.
It is very cool. It's just, he needs something else with it, I believe.
He's
be able
better
to-
in principle than he is in practice, I think.
I love those characters. This is my
Yeah.
favorite. Oh, you want to win? Well, you shouldn't
Okay.
play this character. I'm playing that character only. More scouting. Brandenburg trying to get as much information for the team as possible. Again, though, we saw the last round go a little bit haywire for Boise State because of the fact that some of them were isolated. So I think even though they want to get as much information, it needs to be done as a collaborative. Oh, Tech's trying to find someone. Finds
So
no
close.
one, and he's just on the other side of the wall, but he doesn't know. It's a camera taken out, and no.
Ooh.
Korn will be the first to fall. No reinforcements there. Tech's using what they can to try and drone through.
Playing it safe.
Surprise, it's a drone.
They still have utility here.
There it is.
Okay.
Good pick.
Wow.
Tex with the stalwart offense saying, you want to challenge me, guy? I don't know about that. And loses just a little pixel of health to do so. A worthy trade and tying things up 4-4 in this round. Although it's costed them more than 2/3 of the map as we're about to process through the 1 minute mark. Time is of the essence, and Boise State needs to get them things moving.
Mutant being
bullets
flushed out of
flying.
here.
Yep.
Staircase will be theirs. Shooting through the floor and the ceiling. Unfortunately, Tex will now fall.
A lot of rotating coming from the mute.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh, pistol being called out. And actually take one. Milk with the final breaths of their life. We're able to take one and out to 2 versus 3. But again, time is not of the essence for Boise State. There's only 30 seconds remain in this do or die round. They have it available. They don't know where the diffuser is.
Oh,
And
Gotta
open
clear
to a
those
trap from the
angles.
floor.
Yep.
It's a 1 versus 3. It's going to be a Hail Mary of sorts. There's only 15 seconds are available for them to work with. And Brandenburg goes up, looks for the diffuser. Trying to go through the breach. It's going to be covered from every angle. Finds an angle, finds the 1v1. Only loses a little bit of life. Finds the second one possibly. And he walks right in the welcoming arms. And unfortunately, Central Michigan will defend themselves to victory. A 2-0 lead and a 2-0 score will give them the W. Boise State failed to get the grips on the wrap. But commendable performance from both sides. Boise State really showing that there was definitely the ability to adapt, the willingness to adapt. And I think out of anything to highlight, Boise State was changing things more frequently. They're doing their own gameplay, their own game style, if you will, and making the most operator swaps to try and make that adaptability be the forefront of their play style. But regardless, Boise State Esports is always looking for talented players, production, and broadcast talent. Top talent, along with good grades and eligibility, can earn scholarships as well. Sign up today by visiting boisestate.edu/esports for more information. You guys have any takeaways?
Ooh, a main takeaway is obviously, you know, seeing those rounds, absolute nail biters pretty much across the board, that they're just so evenly matched. I mean, they did a great job at doing counters. You know, there was great rotations, and both great teams, obviously. You know, like I said before, with Central Michigan and Boise State going head-to-head in a number of things, this being the 6th time that they've done so.
It's tied up.
And now it's tied up. You know, it's 3-3. So it's definitely impressive to see, you know, all of the game sense that both teams had. I feel like it was just those little things, you know, the little picks here and there. You know, they were able to get the advantage on a number of maps and, you know, through line of sight or whatever it may be. But both great teams.
And happen to agree. Both teams having some front runners in terms of performance. If you guys were to put a little gold star on one of the members for Boise State, who would you pick? We'll start with you, Vagar. Who would you say is the front runner for Boise State for tonight?
Oh man, this is a tough one.
It's tough, yeah.
One of the ones that stood out for me was Tex.
Yeah.
Just like I said in that one round, just the iron will not to move there. He got the 2 crucial picks. He pretty much just single-handedly won that round for the team because of all the effort they had to put onto him and didn't even get him for a while.
Absolutely.
Hate to do this for you, Cosmo, but you got to pick someone and not Tex.
Okay. Well, I think I'd pick Korn then. We saw a lot of we saw a lot of their ability to trade. There was a lot of utility in that they were able to give as much as they were taking. And they just I saw a lot of like 1 pixel line of sights that they had lined up, which was just very impressive to me. As I'm a console player who plays R6, so that's just like unheard of to me.
You guys can't see the name I wrote down, but I did write one minutes ago. So many minutes ago. Retrospect. Able to really be the flexible player, be on the defensive, on the offensive cusp. Was going to say Korn, but you took it from me. Dang it. We'll have to see if we were able to find a player of the night, if you will. It's tough because, again, all players on both teams really performed and at different points in the night. So it's hard to really put a crown on one of them, but I think we have to.
Oh, yeah. There was Brenner specifically. I felt he was just always whatever character the team needed him to be. Sometimes,
That's
the
a big
flexible
thing to know.
person,
That's a huge sacrifice. You don't get to play like the I'm having fun playing my favorite character thing. Like, I'll play Sledge or I'll play Tachanka.
Okay, nobody's going to be a hard breach counter, so I guess I'll be mute.
Who was right? Pasta.
Pasta.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh.
Respect. Also really did pop off. It had, I think, 2 separate 4 pieces in the night.
Oh, yeah. This one was insane.
Also, best name. I'm a bit biased being Italian myself, but this was impressive. The straight 1v4 Quadra. And just really a huge instrument and a reliable source of defense and eliminations for Central Michigan. So I think rightfully so. And of course, the player of the game is brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central is helping members achieve financial success. Pasta is the Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. So thank you. And also, again, thank you for representing one of the best dishes out there. You guys have any qualms about pasta?
None
Save them for after the broadcast. I don't want to hear it. Please don't have any qualms with pasta. I want to like you guys. Come on. Well, that will do it for tonight. And we're going to close out with the top 5 plays of the game, which, of course, are presented by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your critical thinking skills into real time with over 10 jobs, offering a $20,000 sign-on bonus and a degree of your choice paid for. The Idaho Army National Guard truly is the best team out there. From all of us here at the desk, production, and those few wonderful people in the arena, you all have a great rest of your night. Thank you for staying tuned. Goodbye. Angle shots are going haywire left and right, but no one will find the victor, but Neon will be the one, a magnet of sorts, to absorb those. In 10 seconds remaining, Boise State just needs to hold this off a little bit longer. A double kill over to Tex. And he'll lose half his health, but it's worth it. He's continuing to stall us out. Goes for the triple! He dodges the knife, and he says no! They're going to be found out. Vortec kind of roaming around. Proving to bite them in the butt just a little bit, lose a little bit of wind in their sails, but a 1v3 is a very comfortable position for Boise State. Not impossible for Central Michigan to go up 4-0, but it is a very tall order. And that's how you start it, but you do miss the shots. Retrospect will find it on the clock. Boise State pushing a little bit too far forward as Legends will find one, even it up 3-3. The other corner will be watched. Going up the staircase is a deadly endeavor, and it's going to be huge for this side of Central Michigan. Just Brenner Bear versus the world. Knew that they were there, but Pasta with the perfect angle gets the 2-piece. No damage on their side. Huge momentum boon for Boise State.
Caught him out there with
Korn
the
looking
line.
for more. Sniffing him out. They hear the movement maybe. Oh, here comes the breach. Kaboom. He's got to check every corner, and he finds one. Oh, he actually got it.
Wow.
I don't know how he shot him right in the tailbone.
Which the defenders haven't used all of their reinforced walls. Do you think that there is a reason for that? This is a kind of a question for both of you. That there might be a reason for that, or is it just like lack of time?
I think there may be the mentality for you not to do it to give. Oh my gosh.